Nigerians, something very interesting and tense is happening in Abuja right now that has the entire political scene buzzing. Members of the National Assembly have reportedly kicked over the non-release of funds by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they are publicly condemning the leadership of Godswill Akpabio and Ahmad Lawan Abbas. Yes, this is serious, and it is raising questions about governance, accountability, and the relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government. Before we go further, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow real-time updates on this story. Sharing this video also helps more Nigerians understand what is happening in their government. Now, here's the gist. The National Assembly, which is supposed to pass budgets and approve funds for federal projects, is now frustrated because key allocations and approvals are being delayed or blocked. Legislators are saying that the non-release of funds is stalling development projects, critical social programs, and even state-level initiatives. They argue that this lack of action undermines their constitutional duties and leaves Nigerians suffering while bureaucracy drags on. Specifically, members are pointing fingers at Godswill Akpabio, the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, and Abbas, who is the leadership in the House, for failing to push the executive branch to release the necessary funds. The lawmakers are claiming that this is not just incompetence, it is a serious leadership failure that affects millions of Nigerians who depend on government programs. This is also politically significant. Tinubu, being the president, has the power to release or withhold funds, and the delay is now causing tension between the National Assembly and the executive arm. It raises questions about transparency, accountability, and whether government resources are being used effectively. Citizens are watching closely because these delays impact health, education, infrastructure, and even security projects across the country. Now, the lawmakers are not just grumbling quietly, they are taking action. Some have publicly condemned the leaderships, issued strong statements to the media, and are reportedly threatening to use legislative tools to hold the executive accountable. This shows a growing rift in the government and raises questions about how long these tensions can continue before they affect governance on a larger scale. From a broader perspective, this situation highlights a common challenge in Nigeria: the struggle between different arms of government to work together effectively. When funds are delayed or blocked, projects stall, promises to citizens go unfulfilled, and public trust diminishes. People begin to wonder, is it politics, bureaucracy, or mismanagement? And the truth often lies somewhere in between. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Every time you engage, it helps us spread important updates like this one to Nigerians who need to know what is happening in their own government. Now, let's consider the impact of this on citizens. Imagine local projects, schools, roads, hospitals sitting incomplete because federal allocations are held up. Families, communities, and businesses are all affected. Legislators are saying enough is enough, and they are making their frustrations public because silence is no longer acceptable. And here's something interesting. This tension could also reshape political alliances. Lawmakers who are openly critical of Akpabio and Abbas may form coalitions to demand better leadership and accountability. This could influence the legislative agenda, budget approvals, and even future elections. It is a vivid reminder that politics in Nigeria is not just about speeches, it's about action, accountability, and results. Meanwhile, Nigerians are discussing this issue across social media platforms. Many are asking why funds are not released promptly, why leadership at the top seems unable to coordinate effectively, and how these delays affect ordinary citizens. The conversations reflect a growing demand for transparency and efficiency from elected officials and ministers. This story also provides an opportunity to discuss governance challenges more broadly. When funds are delayed, it is not just a technical problem. It reflects deeper issues like administrative bottlenecks, political disagreements, and sometimes lack of prioritization. Citizens see projects stall and trust in government diminishes. That is why lawmakers are speaking out loudly this time instead of allowing delays to go unnoticed. To add context, this is not the first time such tensions have emerged in Nigeria. Historically, conflicts between the executive and legislative arms over funds, budgets, and project approvals have occurred. What makes this situation newsworthy is the public condemnation of high-profile leaders like Akpabio and Abbas, and the fact that the National Assembly is demanding immediate action. And again, if you're following this discussion, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with friends. The more people understand what is happening in Abuja, the stronger the pressure on leaders to act responsibly and release the funds that Nigerians are waiting for. This issue also opens a broader conversation about accountability in government. Leadership is not just about holding office. It is about ensuring that resources reach the people who need them most. When funds are delayed, citizens pay the price. That is the essence of the National Assembly's frustration and why their condemnation of Akpabio and Abbas is so significant. Nigerians, the fallout from the National Assembly's condemnation is something to watch closely. By publicly criticizing Akpabio and Abbas, lawmakers are signaling that they are no longer willing to quietly tolerate delays that hinder governance. This could have ripple effects on Tinubu's administration, especially in terms of credibility and public trust. Many political analysts are saying that this tension could affect how future budgets are passed, how projects are executed, and even how political alliances are maintained within the ruling party. When lawmakers openly challenge ministers and leadership figures, it highlights fractures in governance that could impact decision-making at the highest level. At the heart of this issue is fund release and resource management. These funds are not trivial. They are meant for projects that affect millions: roads, schools, hospitals, security operations, and social programs. When allocations are delayed, local governments and state authorities struggle to implement their plans, and ordinary citizens feel the consequences directly. There is also a growing debate about accountability. Citizens are now asking, why are funds being withheld? Is it political strategy, administrative bottlenecks, or outright negligence? The National Assembly is now stepping in to force transparency, and this could serve as a precedent for future oversight. Interestingly, the situation also shows the balance of power between the executive and legislative branches. While the president has control over fund releases, the National Assembly has the authority to demand accountability and push back when they believe governance is being compromised. This is a core part of Nigeria's democracy. But when tensions rise, it also becomes a political spectacle that everyone notices. Social media is buzzing with Nigerians weighing in on this controversy. Some citizens are supporting the lawmakers, praising them for standing up for accountability and demanding that resources reach the people. Others are concerned that public disputes between government branches might slow progress even further. Either way, it has become a hot topic for debate nationwide. Now, if you're following this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with friends and family. Keeping Nigerians informed helps increase pressure on leaders to act responsibly and release funds that are long overdue. Another important point is the impact on development projects. Projects that rely on federal allocations often include infrastructure improvements, healthcare initiatives, and educational programs. Delays in fund release can stall these initiatives, which affects communities across the country. The National Assembly's public condemnation is essentially a call to action, a reminder that leadership comes with responsibility. This situation could also have political implications. Some lawmakers may leverage this conflict to assert more influence, strengthen their positions within the National Assembly, or even shape public opinion ahead of elections. For citizens, this is a reminder that political leadership and accountability are intertwined, and that public scrutiny can influence decision-making. Lastly, the National Assembly's stance emphasizes the importance of transparency in government. By challenging Akpabio and Abbas, lawmakers are sending a message. Citizens deserve clear communication about where and when government funds are being allocated and used. This aligns with broader calls for good governance and responsible leadership in Nigeria. At the same time, this confrontation could reshape political alliances, influence budget approvals, and affect public trust in Tinubu's administration. The executive now faces pressure to release funds promptly, ensure transparency, and prove that leadership is effective. Failure to act decisively could result in growing frustration from both legislators and citizens. For Nigerians watching this story unfold, it is a reminder of the power of public scrutiny, civic engagement, and accountability. Leaders must act responsibly and citizens must remain informed and involved in discussions that affect national development. So, as always, if you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it. Spreading awareness ensures that more Nigerians understand what is happening in the government and why these decisions matter.